the appropriate sample types based on the test you are requesting. The collection times and sites of the organism suspected really is important. There can be different affinities for specific body sites or the course of infection for when you're collecting the sample can really play a big role. So again, if you're ever unsure, being in close communication with your hospital doctors or your state or local epidemiologists. And after you have chosen the appropriate sample, you need to make sure that you're shipping these things in the correct transport media and under the correct shipping conditions. So choosing the appropriate storage conditions really is essential to ensure that you're maintaining the viability of the organism and they're being maintained under proper shipping conditions when shipped. So there is a big range for these. They can be organism specific, and if you ever have a question, you can consult the Guide to Laboratory Services for specific organisms requirements, or again, you can just give us a call. We will go through some of them here in this presentation. So laboratory tests are only being performed on the test that is requested on the submission form. Please keep in mind that some tests do require prior notification, and also, like we said earlier, you can have more than one test request per sample if the type is appropriate, but each sample is requiring its own submission form. So we have a specimen rejection policy here. We're not going to go over all of them. We're just going to highlight a few of them, mainly the ones that are the most common reasons for samples being rejected. Most of the time, it's either a specimen was broken or leaked during transit, or there was insufficient quantity of sample for testing, or the identifier was either not on the sample or the submission form at all, or they didn't match. So here is a list of some of the reasons that we will reject samples, and it's continued on the next page here. Okay, for labeling your samples, please provide all the appropriate identifying information on the actual specimen collection tube, as well as the paperwork, which is the submission form, and any mailing containers as necessary. It is important that you are completing all of the required fields on each of those. Here's an example of our past version of a submission form, and you'll see that the required fields are highlighted in yellow. Okay, for shipping samples to us, it's always the shipper's responsibility to ensure that all the regulations were conformed to, not the recipient. So there are commercial and private couriers that are available to you, and also keep in mind that anything that is potentially infectious and being shipped needs to be triple packed and conform to IATA, DOT, and or Post Office and FedEx specifications. So samples or specimens being submitted to the state health laboratory for diagnostic or infectious testing must be classified and packaged and shipped as either a Category A or Category B shipment. Category B substances are generally not capable of causing life-threatening disease or permanent disability in otherwise healthy humans or animals when exposure to them occurs. There is a list of Category A agents if you are in question of your organism. And here's an overview of what a Category B shipment should look like. You have your triple pack system with a primary receptacle, secondary containment, and a tertiary containment on the left. And on the right-hand side, you'll see a properly labeled box where you have the shipper information, recipient information with full name, complete address, and the appropriate labels. For Category B, you see the UN 3373 hazard label. So the basic triple pack system that needs to be conformed to for all infectious substance shipments is consisting of those three layers: a primary receptacle that contains your sample, a secondary packaging. Both of those need to be like some type of a screw cap or watertight containment, and then your tertiary or outer packaging, which is your outside box. So a complete package is marked and labeled appropriately, conforming to the appropriate regulations. We do offer a class for this too. There are several regulations that you need to be aware of for shipping samples. The ICAO is publishing the technical instructions for the safe transport of dangerous goods by air. The IATA publishes the DGR, the dangerous goods regulations. DOT is for land transportation. They publish the HMR, the hazardous materials regulations, and the post office publishes their own manual. So we do offer a training course for this. It's entitled the Packaging and Shipping of Infectious Substances. It goes over Category A and B shipments. If you don't currently receive the course announcements from us, you can give me an email and we can put you on the email distribution list. We offer this course about quarterly during the year, and we have plans to post this shortly on the internet for you. So shipping samples to the laboratory. The address will be 250 North 17th Avenue, Phoenix, Arizona, zip code 85007.